Do you want to use strength and sort of push things up, or do you want to try and think your way and discover, the best way to secure your room? Basically, what sort of skill would you like to use to do this?
Yeah, great. He's awful at both of them.
Would you like to dexterously, like, jump around, do some flips, flip off some walls, do some
I'll
Spider-Man
do a
stuff?
backflip just for fun. Yeah, I'll do a backflip
Yeah.
for fun.
You approach Fire Shallow from the south. Your coach pulls across the stone bridge. You see guards approach the wagon. A big, muscly, 7-foot tall figure strolls up, barrel-chested. Hello there, sir.
Hello yourself.
Anything to declare?
No, just a couple of travelers passing by.
Oh, couple is there. Oh, let me have a... Oh, you a handsome small fellow. And what does the guard see in the wagon?
The guard will see three things. You'll see Kai, who is of very average height, 5'8", human, dark hair, relatively like slightly tanned complexion. Doesn't particularly stand out in any physical way. Well muscled, but that's about it. On his shoulder, he will see a very brightly colored hummingbird that's just kind of like walking across his shoulders and, zooming up and down and having a grand old time, little theater in the corner. And then to my side is my good friend and partner, Otto, who is just a halfling that is kind of always has that look of like almost criticism on his face, like looking you up and down, not really buying anything that you're saying. He, will cross his arms and give a little, hey. And that's about as much as you're going to get out of Otto today. But that is what you are going to see in here.
Excellent. The guard takes a look in, looks at Otto, looks at the hummingbird. Oh, isn't that a pretty birdie?
Oh, yeah, you want to say hi? Put
Can
my
I?
hand out. There you go.
Hello,
Say
pretty
hi.
birdie.
A little nuzzle.
Ah, what a beautiful birdie. And sorry to have to ask, warding of and all that. Any weapons today, sir?
Oh, just standard personal protection, that's all. A dagger, a bow, that's all.
And I'm sure you do. I hate to ask, but do you have the proper registration for that?
Yeah, of course we've got it. We got it, Otto, right?
Are you rolling persuasion there or deception? What are you going for?
Well, they're both terrible. So let's go. We'll do a good old-fashioned persuasion check.
Yeah, you're not lying to him. You have just got a couple of things.
A 3 plus 1 is 4.
See, you look very nice and your hummingbird's nice, but I'm not sure I quite believe you. I mean, he looks at Otto and says, he looks a bit unsavory. You're not going to be up to any trouble, are you, in this town?
No, I mean, that's just his normal face. But no, we're not trying to cause any problems.
He shoots a look to one of his colleagues who's closer to the gate. The look says something like, we'll just keep an eye. But he goes,
Fair enough.
well, you mind your own business here, and I'm sure you won't come to any harm.
No, we'll behave ourselves. The most important question is, best pub in town. Can you tell me?
Well, you've got the Fire Shallow Inn, that's at the north of Fire Shallow there, and then you've got the Shallow Fire Inn, that's at the south of Shallow Fire there. And one's good and one's bad, but I'll let you find that out for yourself.
Okay. Thanks for being super clear about that.
Welcome to Fire Shallow. I hope you enjoy your stay at the inn. There is a curfew. We like everyone to be in bed by about 9 p.m. Don't ask why. It's not important. Don't worry about it. And begins to leave the wagon, return to his post. That beckons you to pass.
We'll go in.
Yeah, the wagon pulls in and drops you just on the inside of town, past the large gates. Where would you like to go?
Well, I think first things first, we go get our room accommodations, hit up a local establishment, and then we can continue our planning.
Are you gonna go to the Fire Shallow Inn or the Shallow Fire Inn?
Oh man, we're going to let dice decide. 1 through 3 we'll do the Fire Shallow, you said?
Yes, I love it.
Okay, I got a 5, so Shallow Fire it is.
Excellent. So, you head out the south gate and turn directly even further south as south can go, following towns. The roads get narrower and narrower and start getting dingier and dingier as you start heading to the less scrupulous part of town. Also feels right at home.
That guy doesn't mind too much.
Yeah.
Charming.
You see street beggars and people throwing poo out the window, and stray chickens walking past. It's kind of a mess, but you see what looks like a very welcoming, very, very busy inn. You turn around to look north, and up near the Fire Shallow Inn is Fire Shallow Manor, which is the tallest building in the town. It's 3 stories high, and you couldn't be any further from that. You feel like the poo rolls downhill here. The rich people go north, everyone else goes down to the south. You walk through the doors, the very rusty, singed doors. The tavern swings open. And you expect in these sort of places to be one of those where everyone stops and puts the drink down and stares at you. But the opposite here. As soon as you walk in, everyone goes, "Hey, new friends! Come on in.
We'll stride right in, right up to the bar.
So you go to the back. Hello. You see older, very hairy fellow. 2, 3? Points to the hummingbird. Two beers for you.
2 beers. If you've got a little tray of water for my friend, that'd be wonderful.
Water. Yeah. We have that. And he whispers to a smaller serving lady. 2 beers and a really small beer. And she goes away and she comes back. And welcome everyone to the first episode of the Q&Play. I'm here with my good friend Dr. GM Anthony from across the pond.
Hey, nice to meet everyone.
We are doing our first episode of a new interview / D&D game, and we're about to start the interview questions, and this is our first encounter in the pub as Dr. Anthony tries to look for clues. So, let's start with some TTRPG questions. How and why did you get into making TTRPG content?
So there's a number of different reasons. It didn't start that way. My initial kind of foray into content making was very much in like the clinical aspect of things, physical therapy, how to, basic exercises and stuff like that. And it just didn't really feel great. But I didn't actually know anything about TTRPGs until like my very early 30s. And then when I finally got into it, it was like the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, I've always loved stories and movies and video games and books and wild adventures and epic fantasy stories. But TTRPG is just kind of like put it all together, and then you can play it however you want. You aren't just, like playing someone else's game for you or living in someone else's like set path, like a novel would. So that was just fantastic. And so like as I kept making more and more content, and as I got farther along in like my physical therapy degree, I also saw that, I looked at, the medical associations, the PT associations, they got stuff for dancers and performers and athletes and all sorts of special interest groups, but there's like nothing at all for the gamer. And absolutely. Even though there are like a lot of mindset similarities between like an athlete and a gamer, we don't speak necessarily the same language. So things that resonate well with an athlete just fall flat or are completely missed on the gamers. And it seemed like a completely underserved population, and it was one that I have like loved so much so instantly. Is like, this is where I need to be doing stuff.
Hard agree with all that.
And also it's like one of the big things is that things don't have to be complicated, right? There's so much on social media right now everywhere about hacks and quick fixes and this like manufactured urgency that preys a lot on.
It's immediate or it's nothing.
Fear. And it preys on a lot of fear and shame and guilt. It's like, that's wrong. And it's just like not right. Like, it's just you're giving bad information. You're creating problems where there aren't any. And if we just had like a really simple solution, people had like the basic information, we could do so much good. Right? It doesn't have to be super expensive, right? It doesn't have to be insanely complex. Like, oh my gosh, have you seen some of these? Like, I get up at 3 a.m. and then I take a cold bath from like 3:01 to 3:03, and then I do. It's like, what? Who can do that?
And you choose to do this, and you choose to do this to yourself, do you?
Yeah, and like that just doesn't work for normal people. And so that kind of was what got me into the TTRPG content creation stuff. I wanted to blend these worlds of good clinical like information, but package it in a way that was like gamer friendly and normal everyday person friendly. So I just tried to fuse the two, and that's kind of how this whole journey has started and evolved since then.
I love that. And obviously working in the education industry, I work with lots of, like you say, musical therapists and sports therapists and just general physiotherapists, but no one's come in to just like play games with the kids, and I feel like there is a market for that in education as well as in fitness. But definitely
even beyond the market though, right? It's like, it's not necessarily about how like amazing you can be within the market. It's about helping more people that aren't getting seen or aren't getting treated or getting dismissed, and there's just no reason for it. There's just none at all when we have so many tools available to us.
100% agree with that, and I love that. It's a very worthy cause, and we'll pick back up in the tavern. The smaller bartender brings you the drinks, and the hummingbird has a tiny little cup of watered down beer, and you are given 2 lovely golden pints. And it's a very lively tavern, but everyone's, it's early evening, everyone's got a nice buzz on. There's no bar fights, there's no throwing plates, there's no name calling. Would you like to do a perception check to see what you can see in there? See if anyone stands out?
Yeah, first things first. Hold up the mugs. Cheers, Otto. Cheers, Trix. Do a little clinky clack, little drink, and then turn around, lean back on the bar, and then I'll have to say, Otto, take a look around with me, will you? And we'll both just kind of scan.
Excellent. So let's have a perception check from both of you. So I'm just trying to find these questions.
The first dice rolled a 3. Do I want to do that again? I'll give you a second chance. Natural 20!
Oh, natural 20, is it?
Natural 20! Oh, right there. Amazing. That was Kai's. Which Kai's. Is perception +5, 25.
Jeez.
And then for Otto, a 17 plus perception, which is a 3, which is a dirty 20. So a 25 and a 20.
Well, I was saying, so 10 you get a lot, 15 you get lots, 20 you get everything. So you just get everything. So I'll tell you exactly what you see since you get it. There are a few people who do stand out from the crowd. You see a group of people wearing the same general beige on brown aesthetic. Not quite a uniform, but they are dressed quite uniform, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple with your very high perception. You see there are hoods hidden in the cloak. You see bits of sort of daggers sticking out, and some very heavy coin purses. You feel like there's perhaps some sort of unscrupulous organization pushed up in there. Most of the people you see are just regular townspeople. You can also see a group of people who are staring at that group, who are purposefully mismatched, almost comically so, and you get a feel like that there's some sort of like undercover guard presence in there monitoring this sort of unscrupulous group. And other than that, some merrymakers. Those are the two sort of crowds that stand out with your insane perception. You get a massive read on. There seems to be some sort of criminal organization. There seems to be some sort of undercover guard stakeout. There's a lot going on in this little bar, and you just see that just by looking and using your amazing perception.
I'll just do a little like slight head lean. See all that, Otto? And we'll just kind of like exchange information. Like, all right, we know what we need to do. We already seemed like we got checked at the gate. So let's keep things under wraps for now until we see how this plays out. Keep our distance, and then we'll talk when things are a little bit more private. And so we'll just at that point see if we can, join in on some of the merriment. We'll stay away from the undercover potential agents and the whatever this organization is, because we're going to try and not make too much of an obvious impact just getting here.
Yeah. The night continues. You drink that beer. Would you buy another one?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So as you buy another one, quick fire round. First of all, how many dice are currently in dice jail?
So, I typically am the GM DM. So I don't really have anything in dice jail. My wife would tell you she's got entire sets in there. But I absolutely will choose dice that roll in certain ways depending on my mood that day and how much my players are testing my patience. But nothing is currently actively in jail and unusable.
Yeah. So I have some lovely dice from a certain website which sells things very cheap, and we're not convinced that they're legitimate because it doesn't seem to roll under a 17. It's like the other numbers just don't exist. So yeah, when it's been a particularly difficult evening for me as a DM, I drop that one in, and then my enemies start hitting.
We'll just keep that part quiet. Your players don't need to know that. That'll be a little secret.
Well, you've met one of them earlier today, my friend who helps out with the videos. He's one of my players, and he's witnessed the evil eye dice, as we call it, because it has got an evil eye in the center. Brilliant.
That's fantastic.
What is your sort of character creation process? How did you come up with Kai? How did you come up with Otto? What other characters did you work on?
Sure, I just love making characters because I love telling stories, and I get a lot of practice as a GM, building NPCs and stuff like that. But when I'm making things for myself that I'm gonna play, I take a more introspective look. Yeah. People will do things differently. Maybe they'll try and min-max a character. I don't particularly like doing that. One of the things that I have loved most, genuinely loved most about playing TTRPGs is the self-exploration.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's learning different sides of me, things that I maybe don't get a chance to flex very often because of the nature of my work. And now I get a chance to sit in that and play in that and see what that feels like. So when I'm making a character, I'll usually think first, like, what is just a part of me that I want to explore? How do I want to feel, and how do I want to test this? And then I've always found that I get a lot more clarity just by writing, by doing. If I sit and think in my head for too long, nothing really gets done. Yeah. But so much more just kind of falls into place when I actually start putting things onto paper. And so once I have this idea of this part of me that I want to explore, I just start writing. And as I write, it's almost like a discovery session, and things start to fall into place, and then now I start to see this character come to life, and then it can be a little bit more directed. And then I'll usually go back and say, what kind of like class or subclass would this fit for this type of person? And then so I'll do the character and the background first, and then I'll look at the class and the subclass. And then, you know, I love rolling for stats, particularly because there's such an awesome chance to like roll horribly. I think there's nothing funnier than having an opportunity to like have a very mediocre or low stat for something that's supposed to be like the main stat for that class. It's just hilarious, you know? And then you can make things like fun, right? Like a wizard with low intelligence or whatever, right? But like they got like wear glasses or whatever it might be because they're like nearsighted. You can have fun with it. So that's kind of the process I typically take when I make my own personal characters.
I love the idea of a wizard that can't quite count too good. So when it's like this has a 500 GP diamond thing, and you're like, okay, so what does that actually mean? Trying to figure out. You have to count all of your components before you use it. I like it.
Yeah, it's just good fun. It's a nice layer of like just, you know, goofing around that, you know, doesn't really detract from the game, but is just a good way to explore that character more.
Yeah, I love it. Flaws do make interesting characters, for sure. Thank you very much. So you take a second drink and you slowly sip them. You keep an eye on with your incredible perception skills. You're having a look around. You keep paying close attention, but not too much attention to attract attention. You're keeping a beat on the undercover guards, the unscrupulous types. As you're doing so, the smaller, but the one that they all seem to lean down to talk to, the guy who seems to be in charge, she's a woman. Her and another huge gentleman come out and start leaving one of the undisclosed hooded beige fellows sitting and drinking by himself. And you see with them leaving, the undercover guards, you assume, finish their drink, give it a couple minutes, one of them leaves, the other one pretends to use the bathroom and then leaves. Following those, these no undercover guards, there's one person there. What would you like to do?
I think at this point, that's not necessarily a group we want to get involved with right yet. I think we're going to see if we can't get some rooms, because we've got some planning to do, and we probably need to start doing a little bit of staking out the area and kind of figuring out pathways and where things are and escape, and start laying the groundwork for how this is going to happen.
So for the audience, we forgot to mention, your guild has tasked you with retrieving their documents. The guild master has said that the king has released an edict saying that all guilds will be circumspect to a document inspection. He informed you that your document had gone missing, and your guild chef, has a line to the Fire Shallow mansion, and the Fire Shallow group have your documents which prove your legitimacy as a guild. So you are in the town of Fire Shallow in order to retrieve your guild documents without arising suspicion, as this is quite a notable lord, cousin of the king, very knows everyone's business kind of person, who you don't know why they have your documents. It might just be to annoy your guildmaster. They might have some sort of ulterior motive. However, they seem to be in possession of the thing you need, and you're going to get it. So you get your rooms. You pay for your rooms. Do you pay for an extra drink as well for when you're in your room?
I'll stick with the 2 for now. I'll buy another one just to keep the bartenders happy. But we're not going to drink it. We'll just carry it with us. But, a little extra charity, a little tip to help them out, make things feel good. I'm sure they're relieved that these presences have left now. And, they've been hospitable, so a little extra.
Can you go ahead and roll a perception check? Again, please. A new one, since this is a separate scene.
Sure.
You can do it for both characters.
Awesome, because Kai's was terrible. 2 plus 1 is... You said perception?
Yes,
2 plus 5 is 7. And then for Otto's, 3 plus... It doesn't matter. That's bad. It's going to be under 10.
Okay. So, you get your room. The bartender shows you to your room. You're sitting in your room. What would you be doing in your room?
First thing is just giving it a little bit of time. Inspecting the corners, the locks, everything else to see where weak spots might be, if there's windows, if anyone could be listening in. We're going to try and make this as secure as we possibly can.
Excellent. And let's roll. You lock your door?
Yes.
The door opens.
Okay.
The hooded fellow, who you hadn't seen follow you up to your rooms, and you hadn't heard with your very low perception, as they unlock the door with a 17 and a 15 DC.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Come into the room and say, "You're not from around these parts, are you?" I promise there won't all just be Cockneys, but...
At this point, I think, considering our trainings and purposes and stuff, we're not drawing weapons or anything, but you could see, if you were really paying attention, Otto and Kai are putting their hands in positions that would allow for a quicker draw. And Kai will just say, nope, just here to make some friends, have some drinks, and take in the sights of a new place. You got any recommendations?
He closes the door behind him. There's no need for all that. There's no need. Don't you think we have eyes looking at everyone who comes to this town? You seem like interesting people.
Thank you.
You guild men, yeah?
Maybe.
Well, or representing organizations that's had some dealing with your guild, actually.
Oh yeah? Who do you know?
Your blacksmith friend.
Yeah, he can be a charmer.
He is indeed. Rather charming. He knows some people, doesn't he? He knows things.
I would assume so. I mean, he talks to everybody.
Well, let's just say we've had some dealings. We've had a need of weaponry at times, you know.
Yeah, sure. Sounds right.
Why are you here? And don't give me any nonsense about visiting the town. No one visits this shit heap.
Well, if you are in such close speaking terms with the blacksmith, I mean, he can't keep a secret for anything. I would assume you probably already have some idea. So what do you think?
I think there's a chance that we could work together again. I think I might have some information that you need.
I'm listening.
You wouldn't have an eye on the Fire Shadow Manor by any chance, would you?
Currently. In the works.
Well, let's just say there's things in that place that we want to have a little look at as well. Now, as you may have seen, a few of my usual companions are otherwise engaged. Referring to, of course, the people who have fallen out of the bar. Says, I've got dealings in that manner. I feel like I can help you find what you're looking for.
Well, that does sound very appealing, and before I do any business, I always like to share a drink and some names. So I'll actually hand him my drink that I bought and haven't had yet, hand it to him, and say, and what was your name again?
So let's have a persuasion check from that, and he's currently not hostile or friendly towards you, so it's a straight DC 10 with the new 2024 rules with the persuasion checks.
Let's see. Ooh. 15 plus 1, 16.
Excellent. Takes it, sniffs it, sips it, then chugs it. Gives you the glass back. Gren.
That's nice to meet you, Gren.
That was my friend Blue and Rouge.
The ones who left earlier.
Indeed. And we have business across these lands, and yeah, we know of your guild, and we know that you can be handy. We of course sometimes move in different circles, but I think we have the same sort of aim here. We want to get in that vault, right?
At this point, him talking about his connections to our guild and specific members and his intentions, you think we can get a little insight into if we think he's on the up and up here and telling the truth?
Yeah, roll an insight.
Just Guy, or is Otto a part of this as well?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
He's your silent partner.
All right. So Kai, a natural one. That's beautiful.
Excellent.
And for Otto, you said insight, that is a 6 plus 5 is 11.
11. I mean, obviously you can't trust this fellow at all, but you think you can trust that he wants to get in the vault, and you can trust, based on what you saw, that he probably won't want to rat you out to the guards, or he probably doesn't want to deal with the guards in any way. You definitely couldn't trust him to, fulfill any mission or anything that you'd ask him to do without, further vetting, I suppose.
Okay. At this point, then, getting that kind of general read, I'll just say, well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for? We have some plans, and let's say we could meet up in a little bit and maybe exchange what we learned. Maybe over another pint. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful. Well, let's just say I know the combination. You just need to get into Fire Shallow's office to get down into the vault. And when you're down there, maybe you could leave the window open for me. We're known. We don't get anywhere near that place. They know what to look for. But you're an outsider. You can get in there. It's it's open to the public. They treat it like a museum. You would have to sneak into his office. That's usually guarded and locked.
Well, I mean, that seems very reasonable for such a strong individual as yourself. Doesn't it, Otto? He'll just roll his eyes, be like, yep.
Excellent. So, should we, like you say, go have a drink and then meet up tonight by Fire Shallow Manor, just around the corner there where they can't see us?
Sure. Let's say a little bit closer to midnight. I don't want to rush anything or miss anything, and, make sure there are no uninvited guests when we meet up. How's that sound?
It's a date.
Beautiful. Lovely.
And just before the end of that encounter, final TTRPG quickfire question, which I've just lost. So, since we're about to end this encounter for our first round of our interview questions, do you prefer campaigns or one-shots? And what do you prefer as a player and as a viewer or consumer of content?
Yeah, I like both. I lean towards campaign, both as a GM and a player, and in terms of content that I like watching. I just like longer stories. That being said, I have found one-shots to be incredibly helpful for stress testing different genres that I'm trying to work on, or working on my tone or new mechanics or something else like that. It gives a really good small container that it doesn't have to be too epic or too extravagant. You can kind of just get right to the meat and potatoes of it, as it were. And so I think it absolutely has its very real, very useful purposes. But generally speaking, I lean towards longer campaigns.
I love that. I love watching campaigns, and I obviously love playing on campaigns, but I find it quite hard to schedule those. Much easier to schedule one-shots as one-offs. So
yeah,
I find I've obviously got a long-running campaign bi-monthly, but I probably play about an equal amount of one-shots and full campaign games at the moment. So,
that's awesome, though. You're playing a bunch, though. That's fantastic.
Yeah, could be said. The wife and the baby might disagree, but I'm having a good time. I always put your lover first. Thank you very much. And have you ever played in a public place, for example, cafes, friendly local game stores, outside, anywhere?
I haven't. I've wanted to, but our game store is not really close. Not in a way that's convenient to get to. Every once in a while we'll go out there and see if they've got new dice, or if there's a manual that I want to get, or a new system or a board game or whatever. But it's not really reasonable. My work schedule is also super strange. And so getting out there on any type of regular basis just isn't really feasible. I'm not against it by any means. It's more of a convenience thing.
Yeah, that's completely fair enough. We have one about a 20-minute drive, but I've still yet to get up there. I played once outside in the park, so that was nice. We went for a walk, played some D&D, and then walked back, so combined a bit of fitness with a bit of TTRPG.
That's nice. I did randomly. We were at I think it was 2 years ago. We were at a wedding, and so I was there with my in-laws as one of their family friends, and my sister-in-law loves playing D&D, and so I brought my travel kit stuff. Awesome. And we played a quick small shot in the hotel, but also we had to drive far. It was in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. And so I grabbed literally a pad of paper and a pen, and we did entirely theater of the mind while we were driving, as I was just scribbling on a notepad. So that was quite the adventure. It was a lot of fun. That's awesome. Worth doing at least once, but not, I don't think, my preferred method.
No, because the weather can turn at any point, can't it, as well?
Yep.
But that was awesome. Love that. So he bids you adieu. It says so. Midnight. 2 streets back from the tower on the right side. I'll be there.
Like you said, it's a date.
And he leaves. You hear him walk out. You hear him meander over and sort of scope out the bathrooms, and he's trying to sneak out without drawing any attention. You think he's done this dance before. He manages to slip out unnoticed, leaving you two in your room.
Well, that was unexpected, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, everything's unexpected you these days, isn't it?
That's a little bit more true than I'd like to admit. What was your read on him? Did you feel any certain way? I mean, obviously we can't trust him. But
I wouldn't trust him
as far as
I can throw. And I can't throw him very far, can I?
Very far. So true. All right. Well, I think our plan remains the same. We still gotta try and secure this room a little bit before we do anything else. We don't want any more people just unlocking our doors without us paying
I
attention.
think we need a bigger lock for sure.
Yeah. So let's do that quick, and then we can get on the road and start doing our scouting stuff. Is there anything that you can think of that you want to try and make sure we get done first, or does that sound like the best path?
It seems like we have a way in. We know what we want. Unless we sort of... Unless you want to tip off the guard and maybe use him as a distraction. I don't know what else we could do.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea to keep in our back pocket. Again, like you said, we can't trust him, and it might just be keep a window open for now, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get in our way or double cross us or somehow make our jobs more miserable. We're doing this for the guild, not for them. So I think that's a good idea if we need to pull out just to make sure we can get away safely. No blind trust here.
No blind trust. Between us or between them. Excellent.
So I guess with that then, we'll do just that. We'll start by trying to secure the room, and then we'll head out.
Do you want to use strength and sort of push things up, or do you want to try and think your way and discover, the best way to secure your room? Basically, what sort of skill would you like to use to do this?
Yeah, great. He's awful at both of them.
Would you like to dexterously, jump around, do some flips, flip up some walls, do some Spider-Man
I'll do
stuff?
a backflip just for fun. Yeah, I'll do a backflip for fun. But strength is going to be my best-ish chance. So we'll try and secure things, push things up against walls to secure cracks and stuff.
Physically secure it. I love it. Let's do that.
Yeah. Do you want just a strength check, or do you want an athletics, or what do you want?
Athletics, yeah. Athletics will work.
God, this is rolling terribly. An 8 + 1. We're at a 9.
Your local turn. You definitely push things against stuff. You've not given it too much thought, about the weight balance, the weight distribution, and the centrifugal force of the door swinging open. But you've pushed stuff. It looks good.
Perfect. Let's go.
So you've secured your room. So how did you get out of the room?
Well, we didn't think that through, did we?
Right.
Well, is there?
Oh, I know.
How many?
So you've pushed some stuff in front of the door. Adjacent to the door, there's a window. It's up a ledge. You could reach and climb out. You might need to help your friend, who's a little halfling rogue. And you're playing Kai is a human
monk fighter.
Human monk fighter, which I'm very looking forward to. So you look and you see there is a window which you can lock from both sides. The key is currently in for the person who's staying, so you could sneak out there, lock it, and hope that no one tries to come in through the window.
All right, window time. Trix, do me a favor. Can you go and check it out? Make sure that the space is mostly clear, that we're not going to have anyone looking up at us accidentally here.
So Trix flips up to the window. The window is ajar, so it hops on out and then starts to have a look around. Do you want to roll a perception check, and we use either your stats, Trix's stats if you have them, or just a straight?
I can find. Yeah, I'll find it's just a
regular hummingbird.
Hummingbird. Yeah, so I think they're pretty standard stats. Let me get it. Yeah, let me get the raven up. The raven. For such a beautiful little bird, that seems very scary.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you watched David Attenborough's Life in Colour, but apparently that colour isn't their actual colour. They're not black. It's because they are such a violet that is off our visual spectrum. They are actually very colourful in their own visual range, apparently.
That's actually amazing. I love that. What a fun little fact.
Yeah.
So perception for a raven is a +3. So that's what we'll do.
Brilliant. Let's use that.
15 plus 3, 18. Hey, we rolled above 10. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So with 15, you get a lot. So she flits out onto the busy streets, covered in poo, covered in dirt, covered in grape and blood, as there's been some sort of ruckus outside, involving what seems to be those two guards, and the two people who left the thing have had some sort of altercation, as one of the guards lady is on the ground unconscious, and some other guards had joined in, and the people are being led away after being arrested and being led towards the guard tower, which is the watchtowers are right at the side of the gate where you came in. So they're being led back to where you came in.
Okay, so our potential allies are being led away. There is one guard unconscious on the floor.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. We will scamper out of...
She comes back in the room, and your hummingbird is back with you.
Awesome. Knowing that information now, we'll scamper out of the window. I'll help Otto if need be, and we're going to try and acrobatically and safely get down, because we're going to see if everyone else is kind of dispersing on the area. We're going to see if we can't find something on that unconscious guard real quick.
Excellent. So you, first of all, obviously dexterously climb out the window. So dexterity saving throw, please.
I should be good at this.
Yeah. Should be. But you're being aided. You're being aided by Otto. You're both doing it together.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
At least it's better. I mean, can't do much worse than 1. That's a 7 plus acrobatics is an 8 for a 15.
Okay. Well, it was a 15 you needed without.
Good.
it was a 10 you needed because you're quite good at this. So you managed to get through the window and get down there without making any noise. Do it very light-footed. For all there was a brawl on a busy street, it seems like people quickly lost interest and walked away, as this seems to be some sort of regular occurrence around these parts. The guard is unattended. There are people, some stragglers around. They all seem a little bit worse for wear. You know, they've had a few drinks by this point. So you could investigate and loot that body, but it would have to be, if you're going for some stealth, it might be quite high stealth needed, as you know, you are in the middle of the street essentially.
This sounds like a job for you, Otto. Light on your feet as you are and small as you are. I'm gonna hang out back here. You got this, right?
Mr. Kai, what exactly am I looking for here?
Anything that might be useful. Keys, letters, anything that you might think will help us get in and stay, identification that might help us get through different checkpoints or whatever that might be, stuff like that.
And of course, if there's any gold, it's going in this pocket, right?
Well, of course the gold.
He goes to stealth up. Let's look around. No one seems to be watching. Go ahead and roll a stealth check, Otto, please.
Okay. That was a 1, but he's a hobbit, so he gets to reroll ones because of luck. So a 2 plus 8 for a 10.
Oh, okay. I mean, 10 is what you needed because again, people are drunk. So
yes.
They are not very perceptive. It's more just if you absolutely fumbled, then they would definitely hear and arouse suspicion. But he's able to
barely.
He's able to find 5 gold pieces and puts them in his pocket. No documents on this person, but there is an old stone geometric patterned key
definitely taking that.
Yeah. Looking around the town, you do see towards the more glorious places to the north, they do seem to have geometric dwarven style design. With as it gets further and further down, it seems to the architecture style is lost and just becomes hodgepodge of buildings. Like it seems to have been a dwarven settlement first and then resettled by all sorts of people. You feel like this key might be quite useful for going into the more notable dwarven parts of town.
Excellent. Pocket that. And that 5 gold, of course.
So you have the key, you have the promise of a combination. What was I to do? It's about 10 p.m. now. You've got a couple of hours till midnight.
For the next hour and a half, because that'll give us about a half hour before meeting time to potentially shake off any lurkers. We'll carefully go over and around the manor and look at the streets and look at the getaways and if there's any guards that walk a certain path. Guard shifts if that's happening, since it's getting close to the end of the night. Maybe that'll be happening soon, just to get some insight in that.
Sounds good to me. So you've done that. You've cased out the guard patrols. You see, as you get further north towards the rich part of towns, the goals double and then triple. You have to duck in some corners. You have to watch your step. But you're well practiced at this. You've done this before. You both have. You get to the meeting point. The Bren is there, where he said he was going to be. I was half expecting you not to show up.
To be honest, I was half expecting you to going after your friends. You saw them get led away, right?
I certainly did. And that's one of the reasons I need to get in that vault. They've got, I've heard, some sort of key which opens any door in the city.
Is it worth trying to see if there's any weak spots in where they're being held? Or is that just too high profile, too high risk for you? You're just going to hope that this key is where you think it is?
I'll trust the information I was given. I'm gonna bank on the key being there, and you're gonna retrieve it for me, aren't you? Because I'm gonna give you the combination.
I'm leaving a window open for you, as we discussed.
Yes, I suppose that's agreeable.
Good. Lovely.
So
now, back to business.
Combination
I'm all ears.
is 1672.
That's it?
You need to put that in the door, the trap door underneath Fallow Shallow's desk. The trap door will open and there'll be a way straight down into the vaults.
I'll tell you what. If you've got other information on traps or obstacles or anything else that might endanger our mission, I'll be more than happy to give a once-over for that key for you instead of just keeping the window open.
A true man of culture and business. So rare in today's world. Alright, I'll tell you exactly what I know. Fire Shallow has a reputation. Not just guards guard those vaults. He likes the curiosities, you know. you see some beasts down there that shouldn't be there.
Terrifying. Okay.
One of our guys has got him before. He didn't come out. All we got was a finger. And the finger was stone.
Even more terrifying.
That's all I know.
Well, that is useful. I promise that we will do our best to take a look for it.
And of course, if you find it, then you'll give it to me. Because we know who you are, we know who you work for, and you wouldn't betray us, would you?
Of course, this is a business deal. We keep to our deals.
And anything else you found there is fair game. We're after this key, some sort of skeleton key. Can get me and all my friends out of some trouble. Whatever else you find down there is all yours. It ain't worth the hassle to us.
Fair. I do have one question. What we're looking for, as I'm sure you are already aware of what that is that likely to be held in such a inhospitable and dangerous vault? It is just papers. Is there other places that it might be?
There is a vault within the vault where it keeps all sorts of curiosities. This guy's a collector of objects, objets d'art, antiques, but also he likes leverage. So I'm guessing the thing you need, him having it will give him some sort of leverage over your guild.
So into the vault regardless. Okay.
It seems like a good place to put sort of important documents.
It wouldn't be wrong there. I was really hoping for something a little easier though, if I'm being totally honest.
Most people would just keep these things in an office. He ain't most people. And that's why he runs this whole job.
Alright, fair enough. So, I guess that means our next step is have a plan to get in and then step away without being noticed. Now, you said this is open to the public, right? So getting in the front door shouldn't be the hard part. It's the separation, right?
Yes. During the day.
During the day. And
after,
what's it like?
After nighttime, not so much. The entry hole is open, the first floor. But anywhere else is out of bounds at night.
That is an interesting choice to make. Do we try and trust ourselves to sneak away in the middle of daylight, or take on a few more guards in the dead of night? I don't know, do you have a hunch, an opinion on any of this?
We don't really want to spend any more time in this fucking place as I need you.
Oh, you want to go tonight? You're ready to go now.
I'm ready to go now, and then get the frick out of Dodge.
Well, can't argue with that logic, can you? Well, I guess that means we're doing this now, doesn't it? Before that, though, at least night is young. I have a few things I'd like to do. Shouldn't take more than but a few minutes. And what I'd like to do, because I have alchemist tools, is I would like to see if I could spend a little bit of time and make something that's like a sleeping draft, or something that might temporarily stun or paralyze that we could that I could put on one of my blow darts from a distance, that we can maybe make this a little bit of a easier sailing trip.
I like it. Let's do it. Let's just use dexterity for that. As you're using fine motor skills to concoct something.
Ooh. 14, and then just my dex modifier?
Yeah.
Plus 5, 19.
That's fine. Well, we'll call it a straight vial of drow poison, as that does poison, but if they feel it bad enough, they go straight to sleep, right? I believe.
Sure, that sounds right. How many applications is that going to give me? 4?
4 sounds good. I was going to say 3 or 4, yeah.
Okay. So I will apply those where I can onto 4 separate glow darts and keep them separate so that I don't get them confused. And then I guess once those preparations are done, I'll send Trixie off ahead just to give us, like, we'll go like block by block, and I'll have Trixie come back and give us little information from above, because I believe it's a 100-foot distance, right, that you can stay in telepathic connection. So she'll always be 100 feet ahead and giving us little insights.
Flips off, and you see the main gate is a few blocks ahead, as you say. The main gate is guarded by 2 guards. The entranceway is open, and there seems to be some sort of drinks function happening in the manor.
Interesting.
Masquerade masks on all of the faces.
Yeah.
Some sort of ball is in progress.
How are we dressed? Do we look like commoners?
How are you dressed? It's your character. Would you have came in just standard clothes?
Probably.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, probably. Well, I think we should try and find a mask real quick, see if that's an option. I guess it's going to be a bit of a mix between walking in broad daylight and our infiltration plan.
Where could you find a mask in this sort of neighborhood? I mean, you could look in one of the rich people's houses real quick.
We could. If there is a function going on, there is the possibility that there are late night vendors that are there specifically for that event. So we'll go the easy route first and see if there are any late night vendors.
There are definitely vendors, there are servers, there are people who are there to attend. People you could subdue and replace, in theory. Definitely for you.
Yeah.
Whether there's one short enough for your friend, or whether you might have to again get another way for him to come in. Maybe a window and a rope.
We'll do. That's exactly what I was going to say. We'll do, before we, instead of just walking straight in, we'll do a little perimeter check and see if, while these people are distracted, if there are other potential entrances, so we can avoid this whole situation.
So the guy, Gren, hasn't actually left yet, and he's been there the whole time. And he says, those guards on the gate, I could do a diversion.
Cool, but then you would be no longer with us the rest of the time. So
meet you back at your room, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. So let's do this. Great plan. Love it. Probably gonna have to go that route. Trust you on that. But let's see if there's another viable option before we have to go and already start making noise.
Cool. So what you see, as you imagine you've snuck through to the bits where you can overlook the gatehouse steps, main hall, you can see people in masquerade outfits waltzing, drinking and dancing. You do see servers coming and going, but everyone stays within the grounds. You would have to get your way in there, maybe over the fence, over a wall.
Okay.
And then
still make our way through the crowd then, though.
Or wait and see if you can see someone as they come off to maybe use the bathroom, or
and do a little quick outfit swap, as it were. Okay.
In true heist style.
Yep. if I built this character completely differently, I'd try and charm our way through all this, but I think that's a terrible idea. So we're going to lean into our strengths, which means over the wall, find some places to hide, scope out paths that the vendors are going, and see if we can't do a little quick swap.
Wonderful. Well, then, of course, this brings us to our second encounter, as we're doing the encounter getting into the heist location. So that brings us to our second round of questions.
Yes,
and,
excellent.
I hope you're strapped in for a long one tonight, because we are not halfway through yet. So, Mr. Dr. GM Anthony, your partner, are they a gamer, or do you have separate hobbies?
So I wouldn't call her a gamer. She is definitely big into D&D. She was part of this whole journey with me from the beginning when a friend introduced it to us, and she's loved it every much as I have. And we'll do board games every once in a while, but she's not a video gamer or what you would typically call gamer. She's also a physical therapist, though, and she has a background in dance and performing arts. And so getting to play D&D is like right up her alley to work on her performance skills again and to put on a show in a way that's a little bit different. So yes, D&D. We'll probably play any other TTRPG as long as it's RP heavy, but not necessarily a gamer.
Yeah, fair enough. My partner and I play some very chilled out video games like Pokemon and stuff together, but don't game together in the TTRPG sense much anymore, just because lots of our friends we have to play online because they moved away and whatnot, and genuinely likes in-person D&D, so don't play so much on the table, but play on the video games, so we do share that.
The bonding is nice regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Just nice to do things together, isn't it? For sure.
Yeah.
And seeing a little fur baby on your Instagram profile, mine's still here.
Yes. So we have two, and mine have not moved since we've began talking. They are still asleep on their couches. We have Gizmo. He's a little Shih Tzu Terrier mix. They're both rescues, but he's 12. He's a bit of an old man now. And then Jester is 2. I think just recently 2, actually.
Named after the character of Critical Role? Or
she is.
Nice.
We were looking at her, and she, when we were looking to adopt, and she just seemed like such a docile little thing. It's like, oh, she'd be a perfect friend for Gizmo as he's getting older. She's not. They are friends, but she is nothing but chaos energy.
Nice.
And so Jester Lavore, that is exactly her namesake. We love to refer to them as our little fey creatures because like they're 2 modes, right? Either adorable, cuddly, like best friend energy, or just unbridled, uncontained chaos. And there's nothing else.
Excellent. Love that. Thank you for saying that it's Jester as well, because now I get to put Critical Role in the description and in the tags, so thanks. And any real human babies, or not yet? Any plans for them? Not interested? What's your thoughts on human bits of...
on the human children?
On human children, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be in our cards. It was something that I wanted, but between how long it took us to get our doctorates and quite honestly just the state of everything, it's just not really a viable and logistically feasible thing. And I don't think it would be fair to that child to try and put them in that situation where we couldn't be there or provide in a way that I would want to be able to. Maybe there's something down the road for adoption, who knows? That is not a discussion we're actively having. But like, I do have to say, like, parents, their own kind of superheroes, right? Like, for everyone who's able to and chooses to have kids and takes care of them, like, absolutely incredible. The amount of sacrifice and time and effort you put into raising these new people is just absolutely incredible. And I have nothing but admiration and respect for everyone who chooses to be a parent.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for answering such a personal question, and thank you for saying such a lovely thing about parents. We are trying. It's tricky.
It's the best you can do, right?
Yeah, the best you can do all the time. Thank you very much for answering those. Now,
Yeah.
you're pulling up at a function. A complete tonal shift now. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah, that brilliant bit of life story. Love that. And now back into D&D. So, you're pulling up on a function. You're scoping it out. You do see a vendor comes out towards the gate and heads around the mansion to the side to go and take a whiz. It's a male about your size, conveniently, wearing a lovely white, almost fantasy tux with a little fox mask.
Oh, we're knocking them out.
Excellent. I'm gonna roll a attack roll and obviously non-lethal damage with your monk fists.
Monk fist.
No, it's obviously a sneak first, please, to see if you get caught when you're going to do this.
All right. Come on. Oh, 14 on the dice plus stealth, which is an 8, which puts me at like 22, if I did that math right.
Absolutely. Well, with the 22, you managed to sneak past the 2 guards who are at the open gate.
Great, I'm glad I was paying attention.
Yeah. You somehow catch them at a point where they're just not looking in the direction they seem to have left off over there, and like, right, I'll run, but sneakily. And you get through, and you pull up on the guy. Attack roll.
That is going to be an 8 plus 8, which is 16.
Well, he's a commoner, so it was 10 you needed. And can you roll less than 4 HP? At your level of power? No,
I have a plus 5 automatically.
Just by
and
hitting.
It's a sneak. Yeah, and it's a sneak attack. So
just by hitting you, I mean, how would you like to take the guy out?
Oh, just classic. I'll grab like I'll flip a dagger around, so just the butt end is there,
Nice.
and then just do a quick, just right at where the neck meets the shoulder.
Excellent. Somehow you hear Arya Stark saying, "You're supposed to stick him with a pointy end." You knock
Unnecessary.
Somehow you knock the guy out immediately, and you're perfectly stealthy and able to undress the guy, leave him unconscious and naked on the ground. What are you doing with your clothing while this is happening? Are you going to dress the person in your clothing? Are you going to leave it somewhere to come back to later?
Is there a big bush or a closet, so I don't just have this person lying on the ground?
So, around by the mansion, there are lovely rose bushes and all sorts of manner of lovely spring flowers in sort of hedgerows around as the steps come up. There's a row of sort of foliage and then more steps into the manor. So there are bushes around, thick bushes.
Well, if it's rose beds, I'll just do a gentle wrap with my clothes so that it doesn't get too pricked up by the rose thorns. And then I'll take whatever personal belongings I need from that, like my weapons and any coin that I have, or any other identification, important thing. So it's just the material. And then I can do a quick little wrap and push into a rose bush.
Love it. You gently poke him into a bush. He doesn't seem to take any damage from any thorns.
Oh, good.
And you're now dressed in festival attire. With, I imagine, some sort of concealed daggers tucked away nice. And
absolutely.
Yeah. You confidently stride into the function, and you hear some decadent violins and harps and people clinking glasses and yes indeed, it was indeed such a possible chance. Just absolute hoity-toity shenanigans occurring. And you see in a cocksure stance a tall, slender human fellow with long flowing black hair, stroking a long beard. Lord Fireshallow is sat in the middle, sort of watching this all happen around him. spots you for a second, doesn't pay you any attention. You're just another server to him. You're just some indiscriminate person for him to use for his gains purposes. See him, some people talk, he talks almost through them and still just looks around, enjoying his own largesse, this function he's put on for everyone.
So I think at this point, Kai would have told Otto, if I looked around, if it's only like human or humanoid-sized people, and there isn't anything that is halfling-sized or smaller, then I would have him and Trixie kind of stay along like the perimeter, because they will be able to hide much, much easier. And as they're doing that, I'll kind of get my bearings within the crowd, serve something if I need to, gather names where I can, so that I can find my way to break out and get back into the manor and into his office.
You get accosted briefly by an older, stiff-lipped gentleman who calls himself Lord Korox, if you please. Could I have a few of those delicious crudités, young sir?
Why, certainly. Coming right up. I'll give him whatever he needs. Unless I'm not holding anything, then I'll go
So
and try and find.
he's sending you to get him some crudités.
I'll give him like a kind of ridiculous bow, like a bit too dramatic and a bit too low, but like perfectly polite. And you just stay right there. I'll be right back.
So that's called giving you an out. If you wanted to like go and you'd be like, oh, I've got Lord Korox. Like, tell me for crudités. Yeah. So we're on the same page. So yeah, I'll be here. Crudités.
I got you.
Yeah. So you've been sent on a mission for crudités.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're I'll take stock at like where they might be. So if I have to need an excuse, yeah, I'll know exactly where to go and I won't seem lost. Okay. But we're getting inside.
Yeah. So the main thing is happening on a huge sort of plateau, and then there's large stairs, you know, those ones that sort of curve and go around up to a landing. The landing then goes back into the top floor, and on every third step is a guard up to the top. And everyone is allowed to do whatever they want in the foyer, but no one is allowed upstairs. That's what you can see.
Okay. Is there, so going straight up the stairs is not an option. Is there anyone who is going upstairs that I can see, or can I see along the perimeter if there's a way to maybe sneak out, get up onto a wall, and then kind of come back around and back on top?
As you, well, go ahead and make a perception check. Or investigation.
I'm great at these.
Perception or investigation, depends how you want to attack.
Oh, that's much better. 16. My investigation is not great. Oh, but my perception is +5, 21.
21? You can see there's loads of people moving around. No one is really going upstairs. But there are huge sort of bookcases and massive, obscenely large chandeliers with some dexterous, light-footed movement. You could jump from bookcase to chandelier to top floor.
That sounds epic. We are doing that.
Is that you're just running it? How would you like to approach it?
Oh, I mean, not overly carefully. Seeing all that, I will go my route. I will find the farthest bookcase or wherever I can that is a little outside of prying eyes. And that's where I'll make my first ascent up.
I would say there's a bit, because the guards are sort of looking out and down into the main foyer. That bit's down the side where the servers are sort of coming around, sort of a service entrance. That bit doesn't seem to have much sort of eye cover. With a decent stealth check, you can scramble up the bookcase that's there and jump up across. So go ahead and roll a stealth check, and then a dexterity, acrobatics, or strength athletics to clamber across those bookcases.
Okay. Stealth is going to be a 14.
14 is good.
And okay.
So it would have been, I would say, about a 12 to get frightened noticed.
Okay, go. Right, 14, we make it. And then acrobatics after that, you said?
Yes, please. Or reflex.
10 plus acrobatics, 18.
Okay. We'll pause right there. Mr. Dr. DM Anthony. Were you encouraged to be an adjective when you, imaginative, not an adjective? Were you encouraged to be imaginative when you were young?
I wouldn't say like encouraged. My parents, I mean, they didn't stomp it out, right? They kind of let me explore and do whatever I wanted, and if I was interested, they would let me test it out. They were pretty big on the, if you're going to do something, like, do it though, right? If you've made the choice, you're going to stick with it for a little bit. We're not just like doing one time and then you're done with it. They're not the most imaginative people themselves. My mom is in medicine. My dad's an engineer. They're very problem solving first people. And if I'm being totally honest, not an artistic bone in their bodies. So they were supportive in the sense that they weren't like gonna get in the way of my interests, but they also weren't like actively promoting that type of thinking or play.
Just letting that live, explore your world. I like it.
Yeah.
Support is always good, isn't it? I was encouraged to do what I wanted to. Like you say, that not writers or my parents or anything. They just
The only thing that we were absolutely forced to do was you had to be active. So whether it was a sport or whether you did an exercise or something, you had to do something physical. And that was kind of like my entry point into gymnastics. There are a myriad of other reasons why it went that way. But being and staying in a sport and staying active was like the one rule that you had to do. And, you like study, but, parent stuff.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. My dad only said one thing, and that's, I've been a driver my whole life since I left school. You can do anything else and I will support you, except be a driver. You're not allowed to work as a driver of taxis or as a driver of lorries. You have to do a better job than that. That was his one thing.
I mean, I mean, lived experience, right?
Yeah.
Wants better for their kids.
Exactly. So that's, I don't know what upskills a teacher, but my baby boy's gonna have to step up. You better start working on it now. And what about nowadays? Are your family and friends supportive of your TTRPG content and your blend of fitness and TTRPG stuff?
My parents don't really get it. They're all for the physical therapy side of things, right? The TTRPG thing, it's similar, where there's just not their world and they don't quite understand, but they're not going to stop me. If it's interesting, like, fine, do what you like. It's not for us, but go for it. As for my friends, like, look, I'm too old to care what other people think at this point, especially when it comes to hobbies. So my friends are all supportive, because if they weren't, they're just gonna be mean about something that I liked. Like, they just aren't my friend. So like, no one's got time for that energy nowadays. So my friends are totally cool. I make it a personal campaign to try and introduce D&D to all of them if they're willing. New experience. But yeah, they're all very cool and supportive about that.
Love that. You got to promote those hobbies. Get more people in. Get them to join the cult. Love it.
That's right. That's right. It's a lifestyle. Hold up now.
If you're watching and you're a younger person and you feel like you need to hide your little nerdy self and you can't tell your friends and family about it, just be yourself. Don't hide that. Just like you said, like listen to the man. If they are your friends, they will support you. They might not get it, but they'll be willing to give it a try. And there are always people who you can play with, even if you have to ask strangers on threads.
As a quick little side note, though, when it comes to, we were talking about asking about strangers on threads to play your game. What's honestly been one of the coolest things about getting into TTRPGs in general was like how willing the community is to just play games and to host games for people. Everyone's like super welcoming about things as long as you're a nice person about it. So it honestly feels very comfortable just asking people like, hey, are there Discord servers to join that are willing to teach me this or run games? So it's actually wonderful.
It is, isn't it? You've obviously hear horror stories of people like gatekeeping the hobby and saying, no, you can't play with us and stuff, but I've never seen it or experienced it. Everyone's been really welcoming. I think everyone's just desperate to play the game, and everyone wants to play more of the game. So they're like, you want to play the game? I want to play the game. Let's play the game.
Yeah, and it also doesn't make sense, right? What are you gatekeeping? It's an online play that you could do. Everyone's an adult here. You could just choose to not listen to them. It's not that hard. So I've never understood gatekeeping hobbies ever. There are so many people, and I will say this too: if you can't find the space that feels right for you, make it yourself. You can do it with very little investment in things, right? Make the space that feels safe for you and then invite people into it to join you. We're not trying to take people's spots. We want to create more space for more people to play. So if you can't find it for yourself, make it yourself.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
My little water.
So, with that beautiful answer to a very good question, if I may say so myself, you clamber up the bookshelf without being spotted. You hop and hop and hop from chandelier to chandelier. There's a brief swinging. It's one of those moments in every film where, the camera's on you up there and then it looks down to those people down there. A little bit of sort of dust falls down, maybe drops in someone's cup and they drink it, not knowing that it's there. And you safely hop across and land 10 feet behind the row of guards at the top of the stairs looking out into the function. And you've successfully made it into the upstairs where the office is without being caught.
Fantastic. I'll do a quick little look-see, if I can, to see where Otto is, if he can make it up here himself, or if I need to help him in any way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll a perception check for that, or investigation. Perception's higher, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure my perception's higher. 14 on the dice, plus 5, 19.
Yeah. With a 19, it's going to be hard to get him inside and through the ruckus, but you do see obviously there's the main office directly behind you. There are 2 side rooms for housing guests. One's a storage cupboard, one seems to be a guest bedroom, so they're both open because why would they be locked? There's guards. And there are windows, so you feel it might be a way for it to get him inside.
Okay, I'll check the quarters first. And if there's a window, I'm gonna open it and then do some charades to get him to go around. Or actually, I can talk directly to Trixie. I just tell her exactly what I'm doing and where to go.
He starts doing charades. He starts going like that to you.
I just nod. Yep, not surprised. Yep, good.
But Trixie sort of buzzes around him and reluctantly follows up to the window. You lower a rope?
If I can find one. If not, I'll do the old school, tie some bed sheets together, nice knot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get you back. I was going to say we'll have to cut again because Roll20 video stopped, but we're back. So you do the old-fashioned tie bed sheets together. I'll say you got a really good stealth check before. No one really knows you're there. I was looking for you, so there's no reason to roll another stealth check. You're just tying bed sheets together. You chuck them out the window. Can you roll an acrobatics or athletics check to see if you can make it up without falling and hurting himself comically?
So this is for Otto?
This is for Otto to safely climb up the bed sheets.
Wonderful, because that was another natural one.
It really wants it.
It really wants me to fail. So luckily,
we really want it once, so this might be good.
A 12,
okay.
And Otto's acrobatics is +6.
It was
so
like a DC 5. I just wanted to see if there is a chance it would fail horribly.
It was so close, almost twice.
Yeah, he fell out of the window to his death, but that didn't happen, so it's good. We move on. So you get him inside. You're both inside. There are guards in front of the door to the office you need to get in. So to sneak past again and to have a go at seeing if it's open would need another stealth check from...
This sounds like a perfect opportunity to use 2 of my drow darts.
Ooh, it certainly does.
So I would like to do that.
So let's have attack rolls. Are you going for both at the same time? From you and Otto? Go for it.
Does Otto also have a blow gun? No, he's got a short bow though. So I will use my blowgun. He'll use his little short bow, and we'll try and take him out at the same time.
Yeah. So attacks. First of all, stealth to see if you can be hidden. If you're hidden, you're going to roll attack rolls with advantage for being hidden.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yes. 19 on the dice, plus myself, which is a +8, which is a 27.
Were you even ever there? Do you even exist? What is a Kai? What is an Otto?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so advantage 1 for each guard, yeah?
Yes, please.
All right. Kai's roll 20. That's right. So natural 20 on the blowgun, and then for
with the natural 20, the one guard doesn't even have to make a Constitution check against the poison. It is just succumbs to the drow poison and falls instantly asleep.
Excellent. Now it's Otto with his short bow. Another natural 20.
It's all or nothing, isn't it?
Can I do this? Can we see this? Can we see? Can you see that right there? No, right there. Can you see that?
I can see some.
Can you see that?
It definitely says 20 there. Yes.
Ah! Absolutely incredible.
Love to see that.
Sorry,
Definitely
very excited about
bodes
that.
well for the violence. That's sure to ensue.
No, because here's what happens, right? We roll great right now, and then it's nothing but downhill. There is no up from a natural 20.
Well, when you're right, you're right. So we'll discuss what happens with that after the final question. It's quite a big one.
Love it. Let's go for it.
Have you ever modeled an NPC up? And yes, obviously, honesty box. We're all friends here. Circle of trust.
Yes.
Modeled an NPC or PC on anyone from your personal life?
I can honestly say no. I'm sure some of my NPCs have shared names with people that I know in real life, but I have never taken someone I know and put them in a game. As I was kind of saying a little bit earlier with like my own character creation, when I'm making my stories, these NPCs also kind of just work themselves in, and I don't need to pull from somewhere else. They can be their own contained thing. So no, I have not modeled it after anyone in real life.
That's perfectly fair and valid. And I must attest that I have, on many occasions, named my villainous NPCs and bad guys and monsters after the kids who annoy me at the schools that I work in. I can say that with absolute truth and honesty and zero regret, because this is my one little tiny bit of revenge.
Hey, you know what? Own it.
Well, obviously I won't say any of the names or how it relates, but yes, that has happened, and I'm proud of it. Thank you very much. You sneak by the guards, and since you got natural 20 on both, you are able to, with the short bow and a blowgun, silently.
Phenomenal.
You have 2 more uses of the drought poison left. Yes. Are you going 1 each,
Yes.
or is Kai keeping them both?
We'll say 1 each.
Excellent. Because the guards have been
going to quickly loot those sleeping bodies very quickly.
Yeah. They've got the guards. There's some shields. There's some weapons. There's 5 gold pieces on each.
Cheap. They're also cheap.
I know. He doesn't pay very well. This guy doesn't pay very well.
Sounds like he deserves to be robbed now.
Of course. You turn around and are confronted by the door to the office. The door is indeed locked.
Stone.
You have a key.
Boop.
Yeah.
What? Wait. Check for traps.
Excellent. The rogue, I assume.
The rogue will be doing that,
yeah.
Yes.
Let's have a d20 test. Dexterity.
Not bad. 17 on the dice plus my dex, which is a +4, 21.
21. It was trapped.
Excellent.
And with the 21, you're able to disarm it. The trap would have just been a deadbolt, and the door would have been completely closed if you had tried to open it without disarming the trap.
Always check for traps.
The key fits into a keyhole, and the door opens. The key feels a bit loose in the keyhole, like there's maybe a key that he owns which has some sort of extra mechanism that closes the deadbolt. But you manage to get inside the office. The office is adorned with tapestries of very strange, hellish, abyssal, lots of fiendish, strange creatures. There's also, as you're going through the older parts of the town, you notice on the dwarven the dwarven element, and they're in a hidden place. You can see, as you pull, a scroll depicting a lineage of ancient dwarven kings, tracing back many centuries, and then all of them have been painstakingly crossed out, and there's a rudimentary portrait of the Lord on a completely separate tree, and obviously is in no way related, almost as if this person has sort of ousted the previous kingdom and taken over.
So he's not a great guy.
Not a great guy. Not a great guy. Kind of a usurper. Kind of a...
Alright, so we are now in. So
You're in.
before, we know we need to go under the desk into the trapdoor into the vault. But before that, I would like to do a quick, I don't want to spend too much time because I don't want to risk the chance of someone discovering the sleeping people, which we will actually just quietly pull into the inside and push to the sides so that they're not in view, but someone will probably have noticed that they're not there. So once that's done, not spending a whole lot of time, a quick cursory glance to see if there's anything useful that we can get, maybe like give us an idea of what we're going to fight. We know actually too that one of our our friend Gren, his friend didn't come back. They found a finger and it's turned to stone. So we want to also check to see if there's maybe any potential like antidotes or other things that might help counteract this before we descend.
Excellent, but go ahead and make a... I'll say this one has to be an investigation as you sort of rooting through things. You're not just using your senses. Yep. You are actively looking for something in particular.
One for each of them?
Yes, please.
It's another 20 right there.
So, has a DM ever put any of your dice in jail before?
That is wild.
Nice.
You know what? I'm from all those like near 1s and 2s and 3s. We'll just call it even at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Luck comes and goes. She is a harsh mistress, Lady Fortune. You, after some poring over things, and you lock the door behind you, I assume. You're having a look through, trying to do it with some pace because, as you say, you know, there is a function downstairs. There are people could come and go. You are able to find a potion which delays petrification.
One?
In his own private stocks. In his drinks cabinet. Just one.
Okay.
So you would essentially, if you were hit with any sort of petrification things, you could drink that and sort of auto pass. And you also find a couple of potions of healing. And some obscenely good and expensive wine, should you want to take it.
Absolutely. Kai's putting one in his back pocket, and you know Otto's going to try and carry whatever he can.
Yeah.
For the healing potions, a couple meaning exactly 2?
Let's just call it 3. Be nice. Who knows?
Thank you very much, DM.
Who knows what's down there? Not me.
Of course not. We're both going to discover it together.
So that's what you find in there. It's just more tapestries. The guy likes artwork. He's got loads of tapestries, loads of portrait. It's all quite...
I think what I will also do is pocket that scroll of the lineages, because if we have an opportunity to maybe bring this to light or oust this now we know very not good guy, this would be wonderful proof of that.
Well, the guy likes leverage. Now you have some good leverage on him. I like it. The illegitimate lord of Fire Shallow.
And if that's all, then it's time to check the traps one more time before we head down underneath the desk trapdoor.
You don't have to roll for this one because Otto's having a look around. There's not immediate danger. You are able to discern there are no traps. The trap in this room was only on the front door. You punch in the key code on a ancient stone tablet with runes. The runes lit up in 9 numericals, but in 1672, and the trapdoor slides across. Huge grating sound comes in, rings through your ears, and reveals a really tight spiral staircase leading directly down below the low levels of the city, like way down deep, into the ancient dwarven vaults, which our viewers have been looking at this whole time.
Good, because I'm getting tired of my black screen.
Yes. We're now into the main part of the dungeon, and it is midnight for me, so this is going to go great. How are you looking for time and for things?
I'm totally fine.
You got about another hour in you?
Yes. Do you? Are you good?
In theory, yes.
Okay.
It depends on Baby Boy and whether he wakes up in a terrible mood or not at some point. We are getting into danger time for Baby Boy waking up from his sleep and wanting to be shushed back to bed. So, we cut to the end of the staircase. Find yourself.
We didn't want to spend the time going down and describing every single step. No, that's not the journey you wanted to go on.
Actually, you fall and you die. Sorry. Game over.
Game over. Sorry, that was too much. One too
chat.
far.
Good chat. Yeah, good. Maybe part 2 next time. We'll come back. So let's reveal, hide, reveal. Not the full page. That'd be bad. Reveal area. This area, the starting area. There it is. Hey. You can see a bit of map now. How do you feel?
I can't see map. I only see black.
Have you scrolled down to the bottom? What are you seeing on screen right now?
Oh, there it is. Now it's there.
Yeah, it's
delay.
right down the
delay.
Yeah, bit of a delay.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. Do you have a token to put on there for yourself?
No.
Would you like to
I'm sure I
quickly
could grab something very quickly.
You find yourself at the base of the spiral stairs in the vaults underneath Fire Shell. You are in dim light, almost complete darkness. There are very few sources of light. There are odd wall sconces every 20 feet, giving out very little light. How well does your hummingbird see in the dark? How well do you... I mean, you're both halflings and humans. You don't not necessarily very good at seeing in the dark.
Yeah, pretty sure we just have normal vision. Now, ravens, that being said, they do... Nope.
Yeah, hummingbirds.
No dark vision.
Hummingbirds are known for waking up at first light and sucking all of the plants as they first start producing nectar in the morning, right? So they're very much diurnal, as are humans and halflings.
We have the classic, we can't see what we're doing.
Yes, so this environment isn't great for you, but you do have a little hummingbird familiar who you can send to scope out the area. They will be making perception checks at disadvantage, but they can fly high enough and make, little enough noise that they wouldn't have disadvantage on stealth, just on their perceptions to scope things out and say what's there.
Sounds good. I'll have Trix do that. In the meantime, mechanically speaking, would grabbing one of these sconces help our immediate area, or is this just like as lit as it is and that's all there is to it?
It will help you see in your area. It would also help you to be seen as you're carrying around one of the only light sources in the room. So
sure. I think considering we can't see anything, I'll have Trix scope it out first, and then depending on what we hear, we may or may not grab a sconce ourselves.
That's perfectly fair and valid. So you tell your little hummingbird familiar Trix to go and have a look around, to then explore the whole room.
Within, does this look massive?
It looks massive. It looks exactly 90 feet, I think.
Oh, then yeah, because that's within 100 feet, so she should be able to be in communication with me the entire time. So
90,
yeah, absolutely the whole thing.
90 feet from south wall to north wall.
Yeah.
70 feet from east wall to west wall.
Yeah, she is going to scope out as much as she can.
It is beautifully chiseled out of pure stone. Massive stone pillars lift up the city above. You're in the dwarven part of town where it's all been very well built, very well ordered, very well organized and structured. And she's able to flip between the pillars to go around unnoticed as the guards are on patrol. And so perception at disadvantage, please, to see what she can see as she flies around.
an 11 and a 12. So 11 plus 3, 14.
14 isn't bad.
No, it could have been way worse.
It could have been a lot worse. So as she's flying around, what she sees, in the first 3 quarters of the room, she sees one control in each quarter. She sees 2 humanoid armored guards, each carrying on a rope, pulling on a rope, walking as if a dog. 3 different monsters. One of them looks like a strange-tailed chicken. One of them looks like a weird armored, small, almost shark-like beast. The other one, a canine, grey-skinned, almost looks like it's dropping to bits.
Okay. Horrifying. Now that we know where they are.
You know their patrol routes, you know where they are.
Yeah.
That's in the first 3 quarters. Sorry. There's one more quarter where the guards do not tread. Where
That's okay.
the wall sconces do not reach, which is in near total darkness, where you can barely see 10 feet in front of you. Somewhere in there is the wall with the actual treasure vault, and it is difficult to make out any shapes within that region.
And as far as we can tell, and as it was described, this is just solid tunnel. It's not like there are other doors or other things. This is leading towards a single point.
Yes.
Okay.
This is his last line of defense before his entire stock of stuff.
Great. So because Trixie has already seen them and is out of sight, Otto and I are going to not grab a sconce. We're going to try and stick to the darkest parts of this tunnel, and I'm going to rely on Trixie to kind of guide us away from people, because we're going to try and... It's just the 2 of us. That's a lot of baddies. That's not a fight we want to be a part of if we can avoid it. So we're going to do our absolute best to try and stealth our way through and around and out.
I will say as well, with your passive perception and that quite decent perception, as you were coming down the large spiral stairs, there started to be some sort of commotion, as they seem to have started to notice that some guards are missing, and there are people above are starting to be aware that something isn't quite right.
Okay.
It's not
so we know
it's not an immediate problem, but at some point in the night it could become a problem.
Right. That does not mean we should haste our way through this. While we still have a little bit of time, we don't need more people on us, because at least if they don't know where we are, there could be confusion and people looking, which gives us an opportunity to escape. If we lead them directly down to us and start causing a commotion, that's going to be a bigger problem. So we stick to the plan, stick to the shadows, rely on Trixie, stealth our way through this as best we can. I'll make sure that Otto stays he's either holding onto my pant leg or something like that. So we're always right next to each other and we don't get lost.
Very nice. Before we pick up from there, do you think tragedy can be more memorable than triumph?
So yes, I actually have a very interesting, I think it's interesting, take on all this. And that's because from a human and a neurologic perspective, we remember tragedies more. It is just how we are built, because tragedy and things that are dangerous to us teach us lessons for survival. Absolutely. So when something that is a tragedy is something that we experience, we're going to remember that much more vividly. I can almost guarantee that you and every single person on this planet and everyone watching this now or later could probably remember some of the most embarrassing moments of their entire life in perfect detail or near perfect. But I bet if you also take time and think about some of the happiest moments, you might remember, oh, I was really happy. That was a really awesome trip, or my wedding, or whatever it was, and it was wonderful, and I know I was happy, but it's not the same level of like sensory integration that you have for these types of negative experiences. And again, that's a neurologic design that we have as humans. So from that perspective, yes, we absolutely will remember tragedy more than happiness or triumphs.
Couldn't agree more. As sad as it is, fully agree. My mind can instantly go back and be exactly in that embarrassing place as a 15-year-old doing the wrong thing. There was a time, I mean, this is ridiculous and I'm going to come off like a really bad person, but there was a time where I was really attracted to a girl and we got on really well and we were flirting, and so for some reason I just dumped an entire tub of garlic sauce on her head.
That's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was flirting, I guess, because I was like 14 and dumb and had ADD, and I was like, this is an idea, let's do it. Oh, instant regret.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that ended right then and there.
Yeah, they never spoke again. Yeah.
I can't say I blame her.
No, me neither. I don't know why I did it at all. That was, one of the many things I did as a dumb ADD teen, including one time when one of my classmates said that my bum was sticking out of my pants. So I went, what, these pants? And they just whipped my pants off in class. Obviously, straight to the principal's office and in deep trouble for just flashing everyone in class.
Yeah.
So don't do that. If you're
don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's a bad choices.
Yeah.
But yes, to your point, you'll probably never ever forget those.
Oh no, there was a burn into my entire being. Yeah. But
yeah.
I know what not to do now. So we learned from those and we move forward.
Yes.
Tragedy. Yes. Tragedy of being
at least you had the opportunity to learn and grow from it.
Yes, and have never made any mistakes since, ever in my entire adult life. Nothing but perfection. Probably, arguably, sharing those stories on the internet wasn't a good idea, but we've done it now. We live in this world, so let's move on.
So many choices are being made.
Do you think filming a game for an audience, like we're doing right now, cheapens the game or not?
The short answer is no. I don't think by filming it inherently cheapens the experience. I do think you have to be careful, though, because people, whether intentionally or not, try to play to an audience, right? And that might change the way that you tell a story. That might change the way you adjudicate the rules. That might change the decisions you make and be out of character for you as a person and as a player. And so you run that risk of cheapening it for the people who are watching because you're trying to do too much. Yeah. I actually like to think of this a lot like with some book series and like TV shows and stuff like that, right? Like they'll get feedback from fans and they want fans to have things happen in a certain way because their own personal fan fiction or whatever it might be, or they think they know how they want the story to play out. And I think that has a real danger to alter the story that creator or that author is trying to do, and to appease that particular audience has the potential to ruin the overall story, which of course we don't want to happen. So I think it's a very hard thing to try and like steer clear of. I think you need to be intentional about it, but inherently, no. There are plenty of incredible performers who are genuine, who are honest in their experiences and expressions, and play with integrity, that are on camera all the time. And I would never say that they cheapen the experience. But I do think it's a skill that you probably have to intentionally practice.
I agree entirely. I don't know what you sort of adapt for camera, but I find myself being a more permissible DM, I suppose, and trying to find a way that to advance the plot for the sake of the plot as a product, as opposed to with just in my home games. If someone tries something that I don't want, like, no, that's dumb. Do something else. but I feel more,
I also think
more obliged to try and make whatever the players put out there actually work.
Yeah, I get that. I also think part of this too is just the building of the skill, though, right?
Yeah.
The more you do it, and the more you practice, the less inclined you're going to feel to doing those things, and you'll be able to know when to lean hard or to steer clear. And it is a different skill set to be performing as opposed to doing a home game. It just is a completely different set of skills. And I don't think it does us any good to compare ourselves to professionals when we are just not. So don't put that pressure on yourself. That goes for everybody who is wanting to GM or to be a player or to eventually, produce something. Just be yourself and learn as time goes on. You don't need to do anything special other than that.
I agree. Because you can only be yourself. Who else would you want
Absolutely.
to be? We're all great. You're awesome. I'm awesome. It's all good. You are at the southern edge of the vaults. You have sent Trixie around. She's noted the guard patrols. She's pointed out the strange monsters that are in here, along with the 2 guards that are in control of those monsters. They are on roving patrols, never intersecting. They're on very set patterns as they walk around, almost monotonous and robotic in their pattern, with very little deviation or conversation. And you are trying to sneak through. So let's obviously have stealth checks. Let's have the first stealth check on the first group as you try and come across them. Do you want to do one group stealth, or do you want to roll twice? Roll with advantage since you're both stealthing.
Up to you. How would you prefer to run this? So
should we roll 2d20, and rather than rolling with advantage, should we roll twice into the average score?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
They're essentially going up in difficulty, as you just have to get through one group of guards, and then you have to go through 2 groups of guards, and then you've got 2 groups of guards and the 3rd group of guards, and you're going to be trying to roll. So the first one's going to start quite easy. So go ahead and roll.
Roll 2, right?
Yep.
An 18 on the dice and a 5 on the dice. If these are both stealth, so that's going to be 23 plus Otto's 8 is 30. 1 plus Kai's 8 is 39.
Excellent. So the first group you come across and you sneak past are the group which have the strange snake-like serpentine chicken creature. The creature is leashed and is sort of leading these people around. You manage to sneak up behind it. No issues, you go past. And you are coming across, you can hear the low growling of a canine creature, which obviously doesn't just rely on sight, but can try and sniff you out. Hence, it's going to be slightly trickier as you're dealing with multiple senses.
We have wine.
You do have wine. You could just get drunk and call it whole thing up.
I was actually going to say, if we slowly poured a little on ourselves so that there's alcohol and wine and fruit and not just other human scent. Is that a good idea? I have no idea, but we're going to try. So we'll take one of the bottles that we had and just do a little, take a swig each and then do a very careful dunking.
Why not? You roll stealth. I'll prepare the next round of questions. We'll answer the questions and then we'll figure out if you get past, because you dice yourself in wine.
Okay. Second round. All right, here we go. A 10 and a 14, so 24 plus 8 is 30.
So, yeah, 15,
What?
15 plus, yeah. 15
Yeah,
plus average.
plus whatever it is. So it's 24 plus 16.
Okay, so you needed 14 there, so
Great.
average passes. So we'll come through that after. Virtue signal Go again. Virtue signaling is virtuous. What 3 virtues do you try to live by, and would you pass on to anyone who you try to mentor?
I love that question. The 3 ones that really I try and live by, and I try and embody, and that I try and have my content and the guild embody, are strength through kindness, compassion, and integrity.
Love that.
The strength through kindness is this idea that we need to, it's not aggression, right? We're not trying to be aggressive to people. Strength isn't just physical strength. It's how you treat other people, the strength of your character and everything else in that nature. And that strength can grow through kindness that you show to yourself and to others. So that's kind of what I mean by like strength through kindness. Compassion, everyone's got their own stories and own experiences, and we just have to hear and listen and learn and believe and show warmth and empathy and welcoming to everybody that we come across. Because one of the few things you can control in life is how you interact with every person that you come across.
Absolutely.
We can't control much, but you can absolutely decide how you want to behave with that person. And then integrity is just one of those things that's just, it resonates so strongly. You have to be honest. You have to be accountable for your actions. We all make mistakes. Integrity doesn't say that you don't make mistakes. It means that you admit them and then actively work to repair harm and then grow and be better so that it doesn't happen again. So those are the main 3 virtues that, like I said, I myself within my content and the guild try and embody on a daily basis.
Absolutely. I love those. And I totally agree. Honesty is the only policy. Integrity is so important. Being true to yourself, being honest and owning your mistakes, like you say. Definitely compassion and empathy. And giving people a fair shake. Trying to understand everyone's experiences. Meet people where they're at. And
we're all in this world together, right? Like you have to interact with people, and why not act in kindness then?
And for me, I love your strength through kindness, and I guess it's in a similar sort of way. I wanted to sort of try and be a positive masculine role model, I suppose. You know, there's a lot of toxic masculinity out there, isn't there? And a lot of people leading people down a certain pipeline with their coming at you with all of their masculinity, you know, I've got the best stuff and I've got it all figured out, and I don't think let's just calm down, everyone. It's all good. Let's just have a nice time. Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't do them or the people that are around any good, right? That's a recipe for stagnation and to, you know, grow resentment and bitterness, which is just, we can do better and we can choose to do better than that.
Absolutely. So yeah, I fully agree, and I'm on board with all those, and I knew we'd get along, and you were the right person to deal with this, because you pretty much just took all of the words right out of my mouth. I agree with those. Strength through kindness. It's kind of, you know, being kind and strong. Positive masculinity. Love it. Honesty and integrity. Very important. You have successfully snuck past a chicken. You covered yourself in wine to sneak past the dog. Now, the dog isn't accustomed to the smell of wine, but nor is it really after and searching for actively the smell of wine. So, other than some confusion, you don't arouse any suspicion in the canine or the group of people who are following it. So you successfully snuck past the chicken and the dog. Pardon me. You come to and start to hear this heavy, clunking, metallic sound of a creature of the land. What kind of monster lore does either Otto or Kai have?
What kind of what?
Monster lore. Like, are they up
Oh, monster lore? Oh, jeez. A rogue and a monk fighter. Probably, like...
Minimal.
minimal. They've gone on adventures. I mean, they're decently high level, so guild adventures and quests of that nature, but probably very little other than maybe passing knowledge on some of the more maybe exotic or rarer creatures.
Well, we can go ahead. Whoever you think would have more of, we can go ahead and make them have a history check to see if they've come across any information or heard of anything that would sort of marry up with this creature that's lumbering around at the back of this dungeon.
We'll say that's Otto.
Otto, yeah.
Yep. All right. History, you said?
Yes, please.
Ooh. 14 plus 2. 16.
So the codified and easy to use 2024 rules basically says that an easy check is a 5, the hard check is a 15. So this was going to be a hard check, and of course it's better than a 15, so it passes. There have been discussions amongst the halflings because they always get in trouble with monsters coming in and trampling on their crops, especially monsters like boulettes. This is a boulette, but it's a boulette pup. So it's a small boulette, but boulettes, of course, are known for being and living in underground environments, and they have senses attuned to that. So not just the sound, not just the smell, but also the vibrations of stone on stone could trigger a response from this boulette pup.
Luckily, I'm wearing a regular pair of cloth clothing, and my halfling friend is most likely not wearing shoes, so we shouldn't have anything clinging, clanking on it. And if Otto was able to tell that and knows that and is able to get that information to me, then we're gonna dune desert worm this and try and do like sliding type of deal without causing any impact vibrations.
Love it. So no disadvantage, then you can go ahead and roll a stealth check to see if you get past these.
1 for each? Oh, the double thing again.
Yes,
right,
yes.
right.
We'll take 2, we'll add them together, and then we'll divide it by 2 and see if it beats the score.
Am I adding my modifier?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the 1 or 16?
Add your modifier to both.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Well, did you roll one for Otto? Because obviously ones don't exist for Otto.
Those are not ones. It's worse because I can't re-roll these. It's a 3 and a 4. So that puts it at 11 and 12.
Well, finally, at
the
final hour, the final possible encounter of this whole campaign. Let's roll some initiative, Mr. Tactician.
No, we were so close. Okay.
You were so close to doing this whole thing combat free.
I told you those natural 20s were going to come back, and it was only going to be downhill.
But you get a fight a boulette pup. Have you ever fought a boulette pup before?
No. I did have a boulette in one of my campaigns in the 2014 rules, though. Nice. They're a pain. All right, initiative. What is that? It's a 17. Okay.
I rolled low.
So, Kai.
Let me just
got.
Yeah. Sorry, after you.
No, Kai got a 22. Otto got a 17.
Okay, so it is Kai, Otto, Guard. Lovely jobby. So I was just about to say, obviously we've done a lot of talking, but we've not moved the map around at any point while we've been doing this. So you're currently in darkness at the bottom of the screen. So let's just go ahead while we're here, reveal the whole area which you have got past, which is meow. These are no longer relevant as they have been completely bypassed. The dog. Sorry, those are the wrong ones. It's fine. We'll get there. The chicken people have completely been bypassed. Goodbye. So, if further few feet behind you guys. A couple of rounds that'll get you. They have got a chance of finding you, so we'll leave them active. And then you are here. So the bullet is currently going to be depicted by a no, because I couldn't find a bullet. Where's my reveal thing gone? Add reveal. There we go. Let's reveal that area. You guys are trying to sneak around down here out of the way, so if you want to put yourself somewhere on this left quadrant over here.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going. So we're right around that spot, right?
Yeah. Have you got a token for Otto on there as well? I was just assuming that you both are going to operate from the same spot. Looks like you put one on. You have some roguey looking tokens.
That's we can keep it simple. We'll say next to each other. Just don't want to add more than we have to.
Just like put one there.
Okay.
Because then I can add them on the initiative order. Because Roll20 comes in with its own turn order.
Turn order. Yeah.
So, guards, turn. Kai, turn. Bip Kuhib has a turn, but that is of course Otto. And these are going to go last to see if they can spot you as well. So, they got an 8. I got a 22. Otto got an 18? 17?
17.
17. And they're on 0. Let's sort that. Kai's up first.
Sleeping dart.
Sleeping dart onto... Well, currently there are guards, but you would have to maneuver around a big old stone pillar to be able to get the drop on them. As they are,
so
these squares here, sorry, these black squares are the pillars that are sticking into the ground. Straight up.
Am I operating under the assumption that I have been spotted by someone?
Yes.
Okay, then that's exactly what I'll do. I'll take Kai with, it's only like gonna be like 5 feet of movement right to the pillar to like just turn around to stay in basically 3/4 cover, and I will use one of my last 2 darts to hit the closest one.
Love it.
That's a 9 plus 8. What's 9 plus 8? 17.
17, I'm going to assume does hit guard. I'm just going to go most of them. And, of course, question, as this is a question and play game of D&D.
Ready.
If you were to design a system for the ground up, would you have a system of currency? Would you have a system of block? Would you stick with gold, silver coins? Would you have special coins? Would you have coins at all?
Sure. So I haven't designed a system, but I have homebrewed an entire world that my players are currently playing in. And so I did like all the god cities, systems, everything like that. I personally stuck with a coin currency just because it was logistically easier.
Yeah.
They're like bartering and promises, backdoor deals under the tables, that all still exists and can be leveraged.
Yeah.
But when trying to figure out like, well, what do they have to do to get this magical item from this keeper or whatever it was, unless I wanted a never-ending string of side quests for favor type of deal, which would just, I don't know, feel a little tangential to me and not very cohesive to the story, having coin is useful because it also can serve as a narrative mechanic. Because if you're saying that currency, like we've seen within our own human history, can change from whoever's in charge, right? Then you can basically say, look, I took this over, that old currency doesn't count anymore, and they could topple the entire economy in literally a night. Every noble would have $0 because their currency wouldn't be accepted anywhere, and they could institute buttons if they really wanted to and call that value. and they could use that to take over. So I think it can serve a logistic ease purpose, but also a narrative driver that an enemy could use to move the story along. So I stick with coins.
I love that. I get that. And that makes a lot of sense. I have fooled around with the idea of having a TTRPG system which has no form of currency and it is reliant entirely on secrets and favors. But like you say, obviously everyone just understands currency, and there is a place for having, like you say, variable currency for narrative purposes. So I like it. I would be interested in maybe playing a game on a short term with that sort of thing, but I don't know if long term as a whole system it would.
I think it could, though, if you're trying to tell a basically RP exclusive type of story. If you are doing a heisty mystery, very low or very basic combat stuff, then you don't really need to worry about that, because then every single one of those like favors or whispers that get you stuff could be narratively important. You don't need to worry about buying stuff. But I think you'd have to specifically create the tone of that system, and it would probably work within a smaller scope of types of stories that you could potentially tell.
Yeah, maybe for like a level 1 to 4 adventure, but not for a whole campaign setting, perhaps. But who knows? I mean, there has been times in history where there wasn't currency, right? So obviously that does work to some degree. We're just living under a current capitalist system, which we all ascribe to and understand. So there's just a baseline level of knowledge there. Everyone understand how it works, and you wouldn't have to like reteach people how to live their life as well as play a game with them, which I assume would be a lot of stress on the DM. So. There is,
yeah, that might be tough.
Yeah. So it's one of those, like, it sounds like a really cool idea, but I'm not going to do it because it sounds too much.
That is quite an undertaking to make it all balanced.
Yeah, if anyone's watching and they want to get on that, I'll play in it.
I'd love to hear the ideas.
Yeah. So, you rolled above a 16?
A 17, yes.
Yes, so the AC of a god at the Monster Manual 2024 is a 16, so indeed you do hit with the blowgun of sleeping paralysis.
So that's 6 piercing damage just from the dart itself.
6 piercing damage, so they're instantly bloodied.
And then the Constitution.
They have a +1, so D20 +1. Well, that
love to see that.
Yeah. So I believe the way Draw Poison works, or has worked in the 2015, 2014 rules. I don't know if it works the same in the 2024 rules, but if they fail, they become paralyzed. If they fall, like if they fail miserably, like this guy does, they fall instantly unconscious and asleep. Right. So
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what happens. Whether or not it's true, it's happening because I'm the GM. That's why I have a cup that says that.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's how I roll.
I'm pretty sure I have a shirt that says because I'm the DM, that's why, or something along those lines.
So 1 down, 1 to go, and 1 bullet cup. That is,
I'm glad I split them up because Otto should be up, right?
Indeedy doody. Turn order.
Because Kai doesn't necessarily need. Well, he can with his dagger offhand do a little throw at the pup, and then I'll let Otto potentially take out the other guy with the last bit of drow. So I'm going to use, now that the one that's closest is down, I'm going to use a little bit more movement to get a little bit farther out of the way. So that's 15 feet of total movement that Kai has used. And in this new position, I guess he'd have to be a little bit higher up, we'll offhand throw a dagger at the pup. Not aiming for any vitals. Kai is not going for any lethal attacks, just to get him down and out of the fight.
So go ahead and make a roll. Obviously you're stealth, so it would be sneak attack if you connect.
Monk fighter, no sneak attack.
Oh, you're doing Kai, not Otto.
This is still Kai, yeah, and then Otto will be
next.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's because I skipped on the turn order, but I should have done it yet. That's my bad. Okay, yeah, so
that's all right.
Just dagger then. Go ahead.
All good.
Make a roll.
12 on the dice plus 8 is a dirty 20 on the dagger throw.
That does hit.
All right, 1d6 plus 5, 7.
7 points of damage, which puts it at... Oh, let me take a note. It puts it at that. Cool. Lovely, lovely. I'm assuming.
And then to finish up his turn, Kai's going to move the rest of his movement, which is, so I used 15, he's got 40. So he can use another 25 feet.
Yeah.
To get here. To position himself to maybe go in next round. And that'll end Kai's turn.
Okay.
So now, Otto will, take out his short bow with the last little bit of the drow, aim for the other humanoid.
Excellent.
12 on the dice, plus short bow is a plus 6, so 18.
18 hits.
That is d6 plus 4. Not great. 5 total. Does Otto have sneak attack?
Yes, it's hit him.
Great. So then 2d6, I believe, for sneak attack damage. Another 8.
8. So 8 plus 6.
What? 8? No, 8 plus 5. Because I rolled a 1, I believe, on the first one.
So
yeah, 13.
Is Otto going? Would Otto go for non-lethal attacks, or would he go for murder?
I think he would go for murder, but I think Kai would have personality. He would have, but I think Kai would have instructed no killing.
But would he go with that?
Yes.
Okay.
He might be snarky, but he'll do it. He's still.
Yeah. With some sort of magical grace, manages to connect with the deadly weapon, but in a way which is somehow not deadly for some reason, and knocks the guard instantly out.
Oh, it could be a thigh. Get him in the butt.
Yeah.
Get him in the shoulder. It's good.
I mean, it is coated in poison, so yeah, it gets a bit of butt cheek, and the poison pulses through and knocks it unconscious. So those are 2 unconscious guards. So
then,
does Otto have anything else?
He's going to use all of his movement. Because he should also have cunning action. So he can actually bonus action dash if he wanted to. So he's going to just... Oh, I can't move him. But just go right next to Kai.
You can't move him. Yeah, I can move him. Has he got enough movement to get over there? Yeah, 25 feet.
Oh, yeah. And if he didn't, he could just bonus action dash.
Yeah. So, puts him out there. Which means I need to reveal more of the map. Ignore this thing. I don't know what. He went deeping. Why did they go deeping?
Nah. Okay.
Ignore that monster. It's going to be the emergency. If you don't fight anything monster, that's going to attack it. So you don't even know about it.
Okay. Make sure one of those things was going to come after me.
Something had to happen. We can't just talk. I mean, it's been fun, but
I don't know. We've had some pretty close calls and pretty sneaky infiltration here.
Yeah. It's been a great game. I've really enjoyed it. It's my turn. So obviously on my turn, question time. What is one piece of fiction or pop culture that would completely fundamentally change your life, or ruin your life even, if it was to come to light that they were cancelled for awful reasons? I'm thinking obviously the whole Rowling transphobia thing, ruining Harry Potter for generations of fans.
Yeah. So we're just talking about my experience with it, right? So I don't follow pop culture. I don't care about it. I don't follow celebrities. I have never gotten into it. And what some of those people, and Rawling was one of the examples I was going to actually talk about. Neil Gaiman's another one. I love, Good Omens and Sandman. They prove themselves to be horrible people, right? Terrible, absolutely awful behavior. But I'm not going to I'm not going to strip away the joy I had with their work. So I want to explain that a little bit more. Like, Harry Potter's a very good example because I loved Harry Potter. I went to the midnight Barnes and Noble events to pick up the books and listen to all of the audiobooks. I mean, there were some hard parts in my life, and Harry Potter was comfort, and it got me through a lot of that. And I'm not going to take that positive experience and throw it out. Now, what I am going to do, though, is I have the capacity as a mature person to understand the implications of their decisions, right? I just won't consume any more of their material. It's just done. I'm not going to watch the movies. I'm not going to buy any more merchandise. I'm not going to do anything else. I can't go back and take away what I've already consumed, but I can change my behaviors for the future, and I can choose to not participate in it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And in this hypothetical of another piece of pop culture, I don't know why I can't talk anymore. Right now, just at the top of my head is Brandon Sanderson, because I love the Stormlight Archive. I love Mistborn. The Cosmere RPG, I bought the books. I'm working through them. They are dense, just like the Stormlight Archive, and I really want to play, right? And the movies, because there's like a movie coming out now too, apparently. So like, I have consumed most of his books and most of his materials, and I love it. But if it came out tomorrow that he was a part of some horribly heinous act, right? The books are down. That's it. I don't play the Cosmere RPG. I don't finish the Stormlight Archive books. I don't do anything else. That's done. It would suck, yes, but it's also not going to fundamentally change my life. And then they can be held responsible for their actions. And that's that. That's their problem to deal with. So that's kind of how I feel about all of that.
That's perfectly fair and valid, and I totally agree and sympathise. And you're a better person than me, because if it was to come out tomorrow that Tolkien was, did some stuff, he was in those files, that would wreck me. It's pretty much my entire personality from the age of as soon as I watched those films. Just kind of complete tonal shift from, I guess the Americans would call it a jock, big football, to just fully embrace nerddom. Well, I mean, I took a couple of years of hiding in a nerdy closet and still getting involved in football, rugby, swimming, karate and stuff until I gradually phased everything else except soccer, football. But I made a lot of friends through bonding over Lord of the Rings. My best friend ever, and it's going to be the best man I've ever met in. We met, and on the first night we said, "Do you want to watch Lord of the Rings Extended Edition?" Yes. The step of the thing. Did we just become best friends? Yes.
Yeah.
And that would rock me to my core.
Yeah. Maybe everyone's got their own experiences and personally held beliefs and all of this, but I don't think I don't think anyone should punish themselves because of someone else's actions. Yeah. You personally aren't responsible for what they have done. And I also don't know if it's helpful to punish yourself by ruining positive memories that happened in the past. You learned something new, you make a new choice, but you don't need to hold yourself responsible for somebody else's actions. And so I know a lot of people talk about, well, you can't separate the artist from the art. And I think that's true. But you also can't separate yourself from your past experiences either. You can just choose to behave and consume in a new way as you learn more information. It's the same thing with, we do it in science all the time, right? We do it in healthcare all the time. We promote these things. To the best of our knowledge and whatever the current research says, we do that because that's best practice. And then when we learn something new, we change our recommendations, right? I think that's not the same, but a parallel in what I'm trying to say.
I'm all for that. I totally agree with you, and that's excellent advice for anyone who's watched this far. Thank you very much for an excellent answer to that. Again, excellent question. I have another one for you. Have you ever had any bad mistakes or character deaths in your playtime?
Not character deaths so much. Our group that I was, my home table did have a TPK, but I have made some bad mistakes. One in particular, when I was first learning and DMing at the beginning. Yeah, it wasn't an adjudication though thing. It was a communication thing. I wasn't as clear about things, and people I cared about felt left out and excluded. And obviously I wasn't trying to do that. That wasn't the intention, but it doesn't change the fact that they felt that way and that I hurt them in that way. And so that was a really hard lesson. And even though I communicate with people every day as a physical therapist, right? Even though I communicate with players all the time, I still make bad mistakes that have consequences, and it's a skill that needs to be worked on. And because of that, I've really made it a point to try and be as communicative as possible, asking as many follow-up questions as I can, making sure and trying to create a space where people, if they do feel uncomfortable, can tell me that, and then I can take action for it. But that hurt. That didn't feel good to treat people I cared about like that, whether it was intentional or not. So that's been a very intentional practice since then. And people have created some really awesome things on threads and other places in terms of safety tools and how to have certain conversations and to make sure that they happen in this time. So there's wonderful resources to kind of help you sharpen those skills. Absolutely. But that absolutely was something that I regret, but I'm trying to continue to learn from.
Exactly, and it does take work. And like you say, you were learning, and I had a very similar experience on my first ever game that I ran, and it was a rules adjudication error, and I hold my hands up and say I've relearned the rules for range weapons and how they work. But at the time, I have told the story on a podcast before, but one of my players playing for the first ever roll, was rolling a hand axe thrown attack, but I didn't know that hand axes had a ranged feature, and so I asked them to roll with disadvantage because I thought they were improvising a weapon and trying to throw it when it didn't work like that usually. So I thought, okay, I'll let you do it, but at disadvantage. And with a disadvantage, she rolled a nat 1. Didn't like the negative attention, cried, ran out the session, and never played with me again. So, big error, line crossed, never happened again. Obviously apologised, I'm still friends and still regularly hang out since, but yeah, she was always very anxious, and it just so happens that the initiative roll meant that she went first, and me giving a disadvantage in the dice rolls meant that she failed something, and the pressure of going first, the pressure of failing, just meant that she had obviously a bad panic and never wanted to play D&D again. So I hold my hands up and say I've apologised profusely to her since, and I've relearned the rules and talked through everything first, like you say, communicate, saying, this could happen. Do you feel okay if this happens? Things can go wrong, things can fail, but not put anyone in a position where they feel like they are exposed and they feel like everyone is judging them. Is very important.
Yeah, it's a game. We want everyone to feel safe and comfortable and to have fun while they're playing our games and our stories, and try and minimize risk and harm. But as long as you're aware of it, and like you said you did, take action steps to rectify the situation. That's kind of a part of growth.
Yeah, I mean, you feel awful. You never want to make anyone feel like they've had a negative play experience, especially not on their very first time, in their very first role. So yeah, hard lessons to learn. And obviously negative for everyone involved, but yeah, we spoke it over. She came back and she watched the rest of the game. She chatted to everyone, still friends, still hang out to this day, just sadly don't play D&D. And on that sad note, the Boulette, after the guards have been knocked out, the Boulette begins to use its tremendous digging speed and ability, its natural ability and its natural habitat, to try and get the hell out of Dodge. Are you going to try and stop that from happening, or are you willing to let it try and escape?
It can go free.
It can go free. Cool, so that encounter is over. However, we still have 3 yonder enemies, one of them being a dog. So it's their turn, and this could be the last turn, as they're going to try and see if they can spot you. As they've heard something happening between them, they've heard some digging. And naturally, of course, I roll a 5. so that doesn't happen. So
Shadows.
they continue on their patrol and start heading around, not unknowing that anything is taking place. So just before we end that encounter, have you ever experienced character death, TPKs, anything of the like?
Yeah, I've been lucky where I haven't had one of my own original characters be killed, which is nice. I don't look forward to that day where I'm sure it will happen, but I did have my first TPK a few months ago.
Ooh.
So this is actually a bit of an interesting story. I had just played Call of Cthulhu, and I loved it. It was spooky, and I'm not really into I'm not really into horror much, but the guy who ran it was phenomenal.
Sounds awesome.
And it was so much fun, and it was so different than D&D because things typically don't work out very well.
Yeah, it's much harder. Point? It is just a ticking clock against a TPK. It is gonna happen. Right. You're gonna succumb to bad. It's just how long you can survive until it happens.
That's right. On my very first roll up, my character almost drowned, literally within the first 2 minutes of the game. We got lucky and we got through it better than we should have. The dice were on our side. But the point, I say all that because I had such a good time, but I don't know the system. I don't know how to GM Call of Cthulhu. And at that point, Daggerheart hadn't really been much of a thing yet, but I knew about the fear and hope tokens and kind of how that worked. So I decided I was going to put together a little short shot for my players, and I was going to intentionally make it harder, intentionally try my hand at a little bit more of a horror theme, and I even created what I called peace and paranoia tokens to replicate kind of this idea of expenditure of currency that you can change the game with. And from the very beginning, I was like, this is supposed to be harder. It's not impossible, but you have to communicate better, and you have to strategize this a little bit more. Their whole thing was, it was had Suicide Squad vibes as well, where there were an old band going on an impossible mission type of deal, and it was in outer space to search this derelict ship because something happened to the crew and they all disappeared, and are met with various horrors and things of that nature. And each session they kept reinforcing this is hard, it's so hard. And the long story short here, the main bad guy was a mind flayer, and they came across a tub of mind flayer worms, just like in Baldur's Gate 3,
nice.
Right?
Get them in there. Straight in the eyes.
And one of my players decided to push their luck a bit too far with the worms, and he also wanted to kind of explore what it meant to be a more complex player and kind of make bad choices and turn bad and stuff like that. So he ended up helping the BBEG at the end for part of it, because he ended up succumbing to the worm and everything else, until he was able to shake it a little bit and try and help the rest of the party. And they rolled incredibly well. They almost made it despite everything. But it did end with all of them getting knocked unconscious, all of them getting infected by the mind flayer worms.
Love it.
Yep, and all of them having to join the enemy at the very end. It was definitely a very different feel for them because they just hadn't experienced anything like that before.
Definitely,
but we all learned we all learned that day.
I mean, obviously, the follow up is: did you then pick up a session later where you are mind flayers trying to take over the globe? Is that in the pipeline at some point?
I have been working on some things. They are getting through this current story that I have for them, but that was an immediate afterthought of like,
it's the logical next step. Like, I mean, we're in this reality now. Let's embrace it and let's chaos. I love it. Thank you very much for answering that question. And I guess there's naturally one more question, which is, Dr. GM Anthony, why should my subscribers become your subscribers and my followers become your followers?
Thank you for that excellent question. And because I don't want to get my tongue tied or say anything that I'm not trying to express, I wrote something down. So forgive me for reading, but I want to make sure that the words are right and I'm saying what I mean to say here. Because I think, as we've talked about, like, healthcare has been a problem, especially here in the United States, in terms of accessibility and affordability and general overall quality. And the purpose of the guild is to be a stable force in all of this. So, like, where there is chaos, the guild has stability. Where there's misinformation, the guild shares knowledge freely.
In a warm and welcoming way, of course.
Yeah, of course. It's this idea of walking hand in hand together through your health adventure and having a safe, protective place to learn about it. And so I try and put all of that into what I do and the mission for why I continue to put out content in the way I do and the entire purpose for the guild even existing in the first place. And so that kind of leads me to this little bit here. And that is, the guild and my content are meant to be a safe and supportive place to learn and go on your health adventure. It's not about shame, guilt, trends, extremes, or manufactured urgency. It's grounded in structure you can play based on real science and designed to be a system that fits your real life. This is health protected by knowledge and built without shame. I create literal health games that transform everyday life into a playable health adventure. I'm the keeper of the guild, and I'm your health GM. And as for the guild, this is kind of what I want everyone to feel. To all who decide to enter the guild and to enter our halls, you are not alone. Strength grows through kindness here. Knowledge is shared openly. We lead with outstretched hands, and shame has no seat at this table. No one walks their health adventure alone, and no one is left behind. So if this feels like your kind of energy, if this feels like a table that you want to be a part of, then just know that you already belong. You're already a part of that ecosystem. And you can jump right in and subscribe to my newsletters where I go into more in-depth things in terms of like the practical use and application of health and fitness and different terminologies. This year it's structured as like a game tutorial, so small little chunks where you learn how to play health. Or if you just kind of want to have a look around, you can always look at all my free stuff and subscribe to my YouTube, Threads, or Instagram. And my handle's the same across all platforms, and that's at Dr. GM Anthony.
And I subscribe to your newsletter, and it's really good. It is definitely approved by all of us here at Gothamicious. Thank you very much for that. You worked hard on that plug, and it was really good. And
Thank you.
I endorse the message.
Now it's just a matter of repeating it 100,000 times, and it's just like comes right off the tongue, right?
So you can just say it without thinking. That's what we want. So you successfully navigated the dungeon and come to the wall at the back. You find, for the sake of brevity, you find the hidden nook and put in the key that you found earlier on that opened the lock upstairs. And you are confronted with the treasure room, which is all manner of strange curiosities. some dwarven artifacts, full skate armor, a dwarven thrower, those hammers you can throw. Your guild documents, along with a pile of other official documents collected from all over different realms, and indeed a key made of bone. And what would you like to be in there? What would Kai's ideal bit of treasure be? That you can take forth if you ever play this character again.
I think Kai is just in love with the adventure. And if there were maps or secrets that could be explored that led to hidden truths and buried secrets, he'd be all over that.
Well, in the pile of documents where you found your guild certification that you came here for, there was indeed reams of maps in different ancient languages with ruins with X marks the spot all over it. It's an adventurer's literal treasure trove down here. Would Kai be the kind of person to return the skeleton key to the guy as promised, or would he keep that for himself and would have a key which opens lots of doors?
He would keep his word. He might be a little snarky, a little roundabout, but ultimately he wants to do right by people. He wants to make friends, not enemies. And if this friend happens to have a key that they're willing to share in the future, well, then everybody wins. So he would keep his word and return it.
That's brilliant. And that's an awesome way to end this adventure. How did you find it? How did you find the inaugural Q&Play today?
I loved it. I just love playing, and the way that you structured it with a helper plus a little familiar where we could interact and they could take on different roles. It kind of felt like it wasn't just the two of us, even though it was. But the game itself still played well, and it was still fun, and it was I had some great rolls, and I had some really bad ones.
And nothing in between. In between didn't exist. It was either terrific or terrible.
Yeah, and I absolutely appreciate all the questions. It gives me an opportunity to talk about the things that I love and that I'm doing, and to hopefully introduce it to more people in a really comfortable and what I felt like a supportive environment. So thank you for the game. Thank you for the questions and the opportunity. And I had, honestly, I had a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for the lovely feedback. I hope it was all honest, but we'll talk about that another time. Just before we go, really quick, look, I'm not sponsored, but do you like music festivals?
I cautiously do. I don't typically love huge, loud crowds that I can't escape, but I do love good music, and I have been known to attend a festival or a concert or two.
Well, that's amazing. Because next up in my series of the Q&Play is going to be with a guy who's running a Kickstarter for a TTRPG music festival in the UK. Hopefully, if it gets funded, 2027. Would you be interested in going to something like that? Yeah.
That I can do. That sounds excellent.
It does, doesn't it? I agree. The link for that's in the description. Back the Kickstarter. There's not much time left, so the guy's going to come on. He's going to try and sell it to everyone, as well as play and answer the questions like you did. So maybe watch that. If you're watching this, Anthony, you watch that too.
I'm gonna watch it. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, Anthony. It's been a genuine pleasure. I couldn't think of a better guest to have. Thank you for being so open and honest with all of my questions. Thank you for agreeing to partake in this and be the guinea pig, as we discussed. You were an excellent guinea pig. My pleasure. The guinea-est of pigs. Thank you. You can have that. You can put that in a plaque up there somewhere.
Put it up like the guinea-est of pigs.
The guinea-est of pigs.
Thank you so much. I had a wonderful time.
Me too.
Honestly,
genuinely.
If you ever want to do this again, you know to call.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes. Every season I do with this, there will be an episode with the two of us.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone. Much love. Arrivederci.
Thank you.